back.
In a while. So bear with us as we figure out all the things.
Yeah. We're going to be talking today about the Disney Wish.
Yeah.
And I'll just give it all a preface. We're not going to be able to get it all in one episode.
No,
so.
I think we're going to have to carry this through to next week.
Yes.
There's a lot to cover.
So let's await all of our fellow mateys to arrive. Roll the intro, and here we go. I gotta know, when can we do this again?
All right.
Ahoy, mateys.
Ahoy.
All right. Well, make sure to check in, post a comment, let us know you're here. And most importantly, let us know you can hear us. We haven't live streamed in a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot second.
Mom's on.
Mom's
Welcome
here.
on, Mom. Hopefully you can hear us.
Say hi, Grandma.
All right. Looks like the alert just went out.
Yes.
So hopefully some friends will be joining us. We have a lot to talk about. As I said in the intro, we're talking about the Disney Wish. It's going to take 2 episodes, maybe more, because there's just so much we've got to talk about.
There's a lot to
So
cover.
Irene did a wonderful job. She polled everyone, asked them
what you guys
what
wanted
to talk about.
to know about.
Yes. So we're going to talk about that first, for the most part.
For the most part, we're going to kind of try and like go in order. Like I clumped big concepts together, but if there's any like pressing questions you really want us to address tonight, let us know and we can like definitely like go off topic and address that. But we are going to start streaming again. That's the plan, is to start doing Tuesday night live streams, Travel Talk Tuesday.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes. Having a 5, almost 6-year-old, Wally's social activity schedule is getting a little crazy. So we're just going to have to kind of like juggle that. But we're hoping that this time slot on Tuesday is going to work well for us to do a live stream. And then we can send you guys all over to our friends Hitchhiking Bones for their stream that starts next
8 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock Mickey Mouse time.
Yes.
East Coast.
So that's kind of the plan. I think that the Wish is going to take a couple weeks to cover. So
yeah, certainly is. All right. Got to show people on here. Hey, Mom. We already said that. And
Jen's on. She's getting excited because she's about to go on the Disney Wish. So I know she's got lots of questions. So Jen, like, feel free to throw out any questions you have, any things you really want us to address. I'm going to try and address the things that people kind of wanted us to touch on, but we're also just going to kind of run down. So Wally wanted to just say hi to everybody. Hi. But he is going to go chill out while we're streaming. We're going to bring him back, though, to talk about the kids clubs. I don't know if we'll get there tonight, but he did want to say hello.
But while you're here and the shirt is clean, show him your shirt. We're not going to get in the merch tonight, guys. Sorry.
I don't know if we'll get to merch
too
tonight.
Much important stuff to talk about. Look at this shirt. This is an awesome shirt.
That's so cute.
And now you show your shirt.
Yeah, so I actually got the DVC shirt because we were on the DVC sailing, so it just says Disney Vacation Club member. I don't know if they'll always have those on board, but I really wanted to get it.
I'm guessing.
Mark wanted something that had the inaugural sailings on it.
So I got the Disney Wish logo on the sleeve. Oh, man. I should have installed the merch cam. There we go.
Disney Wish. And then it says the
inaugural sailing. So
we all got one shirt to commemorate. Wally's gonna go hang out now. So.
Hey, Amy, thanks for hopping on.
Yes, and I know Jen, you have lots of questions. So feel free, because I know it's pressing for you because you're leaving here very soon to go get on the Wish. So anything that is like you're dying to know, let us know, and we will happily like address that tonight. But I think this is definitely going to have to be a 2-parter. And like I said, we're hoping to start doing Travel Talk Tuesdays every Tuesday because we had a pretty epic Disney summer.
Yeah, we did.
We like
so epic. We're not even close to getting caught up on those videos yet.
Yeah, the videos are very slowly coming at you. So I still had like a backlog of.
It'll be your epic Disney summer when the snow's flying. It's okay.
That's okay, right?
Still makes you happy. It's Disney.
And then, we've got some very exciting Disney trips coming up.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting Disney trips coming up. Kind of a lot to process Disney trips coming
Yeah.
up. So stay tuned for that. And we'll just be like chatting with you guys on Tuesdays to share all that. So without further ado, let's start talking about our Wish experience. So we were on the second official sailing.
Second paid sailing.
Like they
where
had
cash has been expended
they
to
did
experience
the media sailings. They actually ended up canceling two
of the cast shakedowns.
of the shakedown cruises. So in some ways we were still a shakedown.
Oh, we were still shaking that ship down.
Yeah,
for sure.
So there's definitely a lot of things that they were still working out. And Jen, that'll be a pointer to you. If I'm assuming you guys are Castaway Club members, if you don't get your Castaway gift in your
Ask.
room, go ask, because
They're
a
awesome.
lot of people on our ship did not get their Castaway Club gifts in their rooms. They didn't ask and they never got them.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of
shaken down.
procedures and things they're still kind of
it's
working out. But
a half
overall,
new crew. I would
Yeah.
estimate that it's a half new crew, and
Right.
the other half has been pillaged from other ships.
right. Well, and I mean, it's not just that it's like this new ship, but Disney Cruise Line was also shut down for a long
Yeah.
time. So you've
So
got
they
a lot
lost.
of new people training and getting to know the ships and onboarding. And so definitely
Yeah.
like, you know, they're still learning. But I mean, overall, it was magical, wonderful, perfect, like
Yeah. Amazing.
No major complaints.
No showstoppers.
Nothing that
first,
made us
first
be
world
like,
problems. All
For
first
sure.
world problems.
for sure. And I will say that about the sailing we were on, because we were on this DVC sailing, we were in the minority as far as like seasoned cruisers.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people on this sailing,
4 doors
majority-
down was a poster that said
how many? Yeah.
722 nights aboard a Disney ship.
So, and like they were telling us in the kids club that a lot of those kids had been like this. They're like, this is my 22nd sailing and I'm 4 years old. So they're like, these were people that knew what they were doing and had been on cruises over and 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 over again. There was a lot of platinum Castaway Club members.
A lot.
So definitely,
An abnormal experience from that standpoint,
Yeah.
because you'll hear it. A lot of them were unhappy because they didn't get what they usually
well,
would
and I
get, or
think
the
like
experience.
if you're cruising a lot and you're at a
Yeah.
platinum level, like you're going to feel more special
Yeah.
on a cruise where you're not the
you're,
majority.
you're one of the only ones.
So I mean, and that was a hard thing. Like we weren't able to get, you know, Ashante or Paula or any of that stuff. We didn't really want it because we were
No.
only on a 3-night sailing, so we wanted to experience all the rotational dining, but we didn't even have a chance because that stuff was gone so fast. So, but on the flip side, the cruise ship was only about 60% full. So it was not a full booked sailing. And Wally was one of only 250 kids on board. So that was amazing for him. Like he ran that ship, and that's 250 kids from infants to
18.
teenagers.
Yeah.
So he, like, when we pick him up at kids club and he would go until midnight, he would sometimes be one of like 3 kids there.
Yeah.
So he had a blast and just really had the run of the ship, which was amazing.
Want to make sure we say hi to
Yeah,
Dean.
hi,
and
Dean.
and
Thanks
Dean,
for having
we're going to get in the food later, but I can
Yes.
report there were no
There was no
turkey legs on the ship.
There was no turkey legs.
Sadness all around. All right, continue.
So yeah, so from that perspective, we had kind of a unique experience because the ship was not full.
It might have been closer to 75% because it was about 3,000
maybe,
people.
but there was a lot of people that didn't like
that
that
didn't
were
get on.
booked but didn't get
Yeah.
on because they didn't test negative for COVID. And there was
Lots
a
of COVID.
lot of back-to-back sailers that couldn't get back on
Back
because
on
they
because of
tested
COVID.
positive for COVID after they got off the ship. And we are seeing a lot of reports in our cruise group of people that have COVID now. Lots and lots and lots.
So do know that.
So know that, like, it's definitely an interesting time to sail. That's
Plan for it.
yeah. So that's part of what I want to talk about with the boarding process is the COVID testing procedure. So I know that CDC has officially dropped the requirement for COVID testing on cruise ships, but they have not dropped it for Disney Cruise Line yet. So I have to say, as a planner, anxious person, I was very, very stressed out about the whole COVID testing. It was stressful. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, it was really, really stressful to think that no control, we might not even be getting on the ship.
Well, and a big part of it too is we could test positive for COVID but have no symptoms.
I mean, that's
right?
the hard thing.
Like obviously, if we were sneezing and sniffling,
right?
and
like if
just
you were
in,
like
in
sick,
horrible shape, we're not
but
even.
there have been people that
like,
maybe you're like, I have a little bit of like, a runny
seaside
nose.
allergies.
Like, yeah, it's just allergy. It's like,
Oh, no.
oh no, I have COVID. So that's, I think, the most stressful part of cruising right now is having to get through that process. We used, who did we use?
On Point.
On Point.
Yep.
So Disney Cruise Line
uses Inspire
Diagnostics,
who host the Safe Passage portal.
We chose not to do that because it was
cheap.
Well, it was how much per person?
It's $45 or $48
a
per person
to do it that way, versus doing it through On Point. It was $45
for all of us.
Period.
Yeah.
So we were like, gosh, do we want to throw a couple, like another $100, $200,
2 pins
at doing this, instead of being able to spend that on the ship. So we decided to use On Point.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. It was a virtual COVID test.
We had to bring our own tests.
We brought our own tests.
We brought our own tests.
And we waited until the bitter end for our
appointment.
Well, so we were sitting in the Zoom room. They never showed up.
Yeah.
It said a waiting host, and it had the name of our appointment and everything. So we were in the right place. They just never showed up. So we got on tech support, and they were able to get us in right away. But that added an extra 30 minutes of me having an anxiety attack. So that was stressful. But then they did finally get on there and do the test, and it was super quick and easy. Yeah.
But then, and they got us the results right away. Before we got off, they made sure we had the email with the results.
Safe Passage, right away.
Yep.
But
and then Safe Passage
did not approve it until midnight, the night before.
The night of boarding.
Yeah, the night of boarding. So it was we were down to the bitter end of are we going to find out if these were approved?
Yeah.
What are we going to have to do? So
versus
Jen, the people that booked through Inspire right away.
Basically, their people loaded the results into the Safe Passage platform immediately and waited on the phone with them until they got the clear to sail message. So you should right now already have the clear to arrive at port message. If you don't have that, get on the horn of the Safe Passage. But if you uploaded all your documentation, you should have clear to arrive. That does not mean you can get on the ship. You need the next step, which is clear to sail. So in hindsight, I would go through Inspire and
it would have saved us some stress. If I could have just been more chill about it, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And On Point was fine. But I was just really anxious about getting
$90
the total approval. So that's our 2 cents on that process. I don't know how long they're going to continue to require testing, but they have not dropped it yet.
Not talked about it at all.
It's kind of silly in our opinion because 48 hours, most people are going to the parks. They're probably going to get on the ship with COVID.
Went to Kennedy Space Center. We wore our masks everywhere because we didn't want
everywhere pre-boarding. We wore them on the planes. We did not want to get on the ship and get sick.
Yeah.
But we were really cautious and careful about it. But
a lot of COVID can exist in 48 hours.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's an interesting process right now.
It's nice. It was nice getting on, not knowing it was massively on the ship, that we had a potential of not coming home with it. But we planned.
Yeah. And we didn't wear masks when we got on board because at that point we're okay, we're here, we're
getting COVID or not.
Right. We're on the ship, we're embracing it. We're not going to worry about it. But yeah. That's our experience. Like Amy said, pay the extra. And I 100% agree. We had a long conversation about it. Just, even the griping and things that people
and there were
complain about.
tons of
like,
people who did it are not stressed out individuals
Right.
and didn't care.
So if you're anxious about it,
If you have any
like,
sort of level of
it
anxiety or
fine.
nervousness, just pay it and save yourself the heartache. If you're a if I get on the ship or not kind of person,
and I like if I would have known that, I figured I didn't understand the Inspire was the people that were like working directly with Disney and like that they would have priority in getting approved.
well, and the fact that they waited on the test with you until you got the clear to sail message on your app. I mean, that's to me in my mind, that's huge.
In my opinion, right now, it's worth it. Just pay the extra, $100 or whatever it is, and bite the bullet and do it.
We were cleared to sail.
We're cleared to sail.
Yep.
So we got on the ship. The boarding process was super easy. This was our first time parking at the cruise terminal, and that was really easy. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but
even for 2 back-to-back ships, probably filled with a lot of locals. I would say there were a lot of locals there. The garage wasn't full.
It was really nice. You have covered parking. It was like $65 to park your car there for the duration of the cruise, which is really cheap. So yeah, I mean, that was like super easy experience. And then you check your bags at the curbside before you go park your car. So that was really nice. Then park and you just walk right in. They check your passports as you're boarding. That process was super like clean and easy, like no issues, no stress there. And then we were on the ship.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just like so cool.
Yeah.
Seeing her sitting there, like just magnificent,
waiting in port.
Yeah. So that was really cool to like have a little bit of extra time too, like driving to like get to drive up and like take pictures and have that like experience. And then they did have like inaugural sailing banners up in the like.
So painful as it is, it's right at security. So leave your phone out and make sure it's actually on as you stick it in the bin to do whatever it is they want to do to it. Because it's like right there. It's right at security.
So we had noon boarding. So we weren't the first boarding group.
And we also weren't in the mass of people waiting to get on the ship.
Yes. I mean, we like by the time we walked in, they were boarding our group.
Yep.
So, and we did stop and we went out on the deck and we took some pictures and just kind of like, enjoyed the experience. And that was really nice. That's not a very good one.
This one? There we go.
There you go. So we got to go out and do some pictures with the Wish out on the deck, but there's a better one. Let me pull this one up. These ones are really nice.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, these ones are really nice.
So pro tip, if you didn't know, like after they take your picture, there's this balcony to the right before you go through the funnel to get on the ship. You can just walk right out there
and go spend
take
some time out there and
admire whatever ship it is you're getting on. Admire that. Jen asked a great question. Our port arrival time was noon.
Yes.
So we got to the port at about 11:50.
Yep.
But there was a line because again we were expecting it to be a lot of locals, so we did expect a line.
So we were dropping our bags at like 12:05.
12:05, 12:10. Yeah.
It moved quick.
Yeah.
But you can definitely show up a little bit before, but they will not let you in. There were people that were like circling around.
Yeah, waiting to get to their time.
They will not let you in until it is your time.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of time that. But we were staying down in Cape Canaveral, or not in Cape Canaveral, in Titusville.
Yep.
Right across from Kennedy Space Center, and it took
20 minutes.
20 minutes
Yeah.
to drive. So
when you're coming down one and flopping on there, it's
So not difficult at all.
Yep. Jen, definitely do gauge it on. I mean, like I said, I felt like there were a lot of locals on the ship, and there were a lot of people driving there. But again, if you get there early, there is kind of you can loop around, but there is also if you drive past the line, there's also another loop around to come back and get in.
Yeah. So you can kind of
when you're turning into Terminal 8, you kind of go forward. I think that's towards Terminal 10. And you can kind of loop back around
because they sail out of 8.
They're running the Wish out of 8.
And there'll be signs that direct you. Like it was super easy. So,
hey John, thanks for hopping on.
Hey John, get a mouse over here. Hi,
Thanks for hopping on.
So when we got on, it was just like, you know, it's that breathtaking moment when you step on any ship, any Disney ship. So we're so excited to be on the ship, and they announce your name. And then as we walked on, they gave everybody wands, so wishing
Which
wands.
was cool. I'm like, oh, these are great. They're handing us all these little mementos.
Yeah, and we just thought it was like, oh, that's cute, and it's a wish, and it's a wand, whatever. Well, then Cinderella and Prince Charming were up in the balcony, and they like were getting ready, like they're like, everybody get your wishing wands out. And so we got to do like a special little like wishing ceremony as we boarded, and that was super special. And I don't know, I mean, I assume they're gonna do that forever on the Wish. I don't know if it was like special sailing still.
Let us know, Jen, if they're still doing it when you get on.
If they're gonna do it only like during the inaugural year, I don't know. But it was very magical and very emotional. Yeah, I think I've got a little
so this
clip. Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, wishes
So don't rush past the atrium on the way in.
Definitely take your time. I definitely was emotional. So I think at that point, like just all the like anticipation and stress of like making this happen was like really hitting me. And then, you know, having a little 5-year-old boy who's just like wide-eyed wonder to the world. And this was his first cruise. And, you know, it just was like,
we should have read the magazine. We opened it. I think we glanced at it, but
yeah, we never even had time, honestly. No. Like between end of the school year and then being down in Disney month of June, and like we've just been going.
So make sure you hang out for it.
So it's very, very special. It was actually kind of nice not to have any spoilers. Like we didn't read or watch a whole lot before, and I think that like helped kind of like with some of the like mystery and magic of it all. I mean, we tried to know enough so that we know what to do, and we were in our cruise group, and almost everybody in our cruise group had done the first sailing and then gotten off and reboarded this one. So that was an amazing group to be in. Like if you ever sail with Jill Boyd, she's amazing.
Join her Facebook group.
So find out whatever sailing she's going on next and be in her group, because she like gave us all the tips, all the things. You don't need to show that picture.
I'm going to show that picture.
I was like crying so much because it was like really emotional. But yeah, our cruise group was awesome. They like gave us all the inside pointers, and she was on the Maiden, like posting everything. Like, here's what the rooms are, and like, here's how to navigate this, and you're going to want to do this, and go here when you get on. And I mean, so that was awesome to have that intel. So after we went through that, we like divided and conquered. Mark got in the guest services line. Minnie was walking around.
Why we did this was, as we heard from the maiden voyage, after the first night of Hyperspace Lounge, like
so busy,
being so busy, they implemented an impromptu reservation system.
Yes, so you have to have a reservation to do Hyperspace.
So
I
as of
assume that's
today,
still the same.
Yep.
And we were on a cruise that was 65-70% full, and they said every single sailing from here on out is booked. So if you're on a full sailing, everybody's going to want to get into Hyperspace. So we divided and conquered. Mark went and got in the guest services line, and then we saw Minnie walking around. So Wally and I went up a deck and went to go see Minnie, and saw the giant line from, where was it going to?
Triton's Lounge.
To Triton's.
Yep.
So we saw that line, and we're like, okay, well, I'm just going to get in this line. And then Mark stayed in guest services. And at that point, we didn't quite have like messaging wasn't fully working. And so I was sending Wally back and forth, like, go tell your dad I'm in this line. So then he'd run down and he'd tell dad. And then he'd
that's
back
the other
up.
First step. Get signed on to the DVC app, do all of that stuff, because your text messaging works on the ship while you're in port.
So that was a little chaotic.
And I'm going to talk about this. So your mileage may vary, Jen, and I'm going to say this. So
he got really lucky.
I got lucky. The guest services rep that I got hadn't quite got the message yet that they were not doing these reservations
Not
at guest
allowed to
services.
do them.
The people who were behind me in line got taken to the person next to me. And that was the manager, apparently. He was like, nope, we're not doing those reservations here.
Mark got his at guest services. So we got
So
super
your
lucky because
mileage may
it was like
vary.
a 15
It was a 15-minute
minute
wait for
wait
guest
at
service.
guest services. It was probably about 90 minutes in the Triton's
Yes.
line by the time we got on the ship.
Yeah.
And it was not moving fast
Yeah.
because they don't even open that line
So divide and
until
conquer.
noon.
Divide and conquer.
So yeah, send somebody to guest services, send
And
somebody
try.
to the Triton's line. The Triton's line did not open until noon. So they were like just starting to let people in, and it was long. It was all the way
now
down.
the benefit you all will have
So-
is that it will only be the people on that ship, and not everyone's going to know you're going to need to get that reservation. So you have that benefit. The thing we were
Yeah.
fighting against is everyone from the Maiden who didn't get a
And
reservation.
anybody that did back to back, they let
Yeah.
back to back people book it before they got off the ship.
Yes.
So they had first priority. So there was very, very few slots.
Very
available.
few. So I got
Yeah.
one of 3 remaining youth eligible slots.
Because they only
that
let
by the
kids in
time I
before
got
8
there-
p.m. So yeah, so he got one of the last remaining slots for Wally to even be able to join us. So
Ugh.
that was chaotic and stressful. We got really
Hor-
lucky.
lucky, but just rough experience.
Hopefully they will improve that process. We'll talk about it later because we did do hyperspace and it was cool, but not worth a 90-minute wait.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
and we
Don't
have
need to wait
we have
90
a pro
minutes.
tip
Stay-
on that too.
Pro tip:
So,
stay till we get to it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Jen, since you're gonna do back to back, maybe like wait and like go down to guest services during your first sailing
Yep.
and book a
Book
spot
it
for your
for the
second
second.
sailing.
Yeah. Or wait for our pro tip, and you might not even need to do either.
Yeah.
So, Fun Pharaoh, thanks for hopping in. We
Yeah,
appreciate you guys
Minnie
being here.
Liz.
So, yeah.
John asked about the $5,000
Oh.
drink.
Yes. So
Um,
it is. Yeah. Good
is-
question. It is
it's
real.
real.
There were people getting it.
Yep.
We did not see it because we'll talk about our experience later. But and no, we did not get it. Sorry.
No, we
No.
thought about it because it's actually kind of a good deal
It is kind of a good deal.
because you get 4 people to go to Skywalker Ranch,
Yeah.
which is
It's
honestly
not open to the public.
Honestly, I'd rather do that than the Star
Star
Cruiser.
Cruiser.
I think for $4,000, I'd rather go to Skywalker Ranch and have a really amazing drink flight and barware to go home and a decorated room and an escort off the ship.
I've not gone heavily looking at it. I just haven't had the time. I haven't seen any of those things come out of this yet. So I haven't seen the decorated room. Everyone who's gotten it
Yeah.
either hasn't. I mean, there's only been few vloggers who've gotten it,
Yeah.
but they haven't posted the decorated room, and for sure they've not posted the escort off the ship.
So anyway,
So
I think it's better use $5,000 than the Star Cruiser, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
so while I was at guest services, I also put our name on the wait list for
Ashante.
Ashante,
Yeah.
The brunch specifically, and
Mhm.
and as I was doing that, the person laughed.
I mean, there was
There
no
was
chance we were going to get
No
it.
chance.
And everybody wanted brunch because we were on a 3-night sailing and we didn't want to miss any of the rotational dinings. We didn't want to do dinner there. So, I mean, I just was talking to Mark and saying, like, what would you think about doing another Wish sailing next October? So we'll see.
We'll see.
We may have already booked a couple more cruises. So
May have done that.
that's wait until we get through this.
But yeah, so I mean, the thing to know about booking on the Wish, and you'll experience this, is there are a lot more concierge rooms than there have been previously on other ships.
Uh-huh.
And for a 3-night cruise, there's only so many slots that can be booked. And so
Yeah.
the availability of those slots as you work your way down the Castaway Club booking priority list gets lesser and less.
Which is why we're booking lots of cruises so we can elevate
We
our
need to elevate our level.
castaway status. So so that was the like getting on the ship experience. There was just a cruise ship tour that was being offered.
So that's the other thing, Jen. They did not hold back reservations.
Oh yeah.
They did. So because this was a DVC charter, they didn't. Again, this whole thing was kind of different than even a normal DVC member cruise.
Yeah.
Because this was a DVC charter, they did not withhold reservations. So there was 0
Mhm.
onboard booking. It was only wait list.
Yep.
of which a lot of people did get their wait list that we saw. But
but wanting to get a wait list for a brunch on a 3D sailing on a brand new ship,
not gonna happen.
Where everybody's platinum.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Our chances are pretty low.
And actually, all the wait lists that came through were for dinners. That's right.
Yeah, they were all dinners.
I didn't see anyone in our Facebook group saying, "Oh yeah, my brunch resi came through."
Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, eventually we want to go and experience that space, and we did go up and look at it. And it looks absolutely beautiful. And we've done the Remy brunch on the Fantasy, and it was a wonderful experience. So someday we'll get to experience that, but. Did not sneak that in on this cruise.
Okay.
We did sneak in a lot of other things though, and we pretty much didn't sleep. So like both of us have kind of had like vertigo for the last 3 days, and I think it's from lack of sleep because we just like didn't sleep the 2 weeks up to the cruise because we were like anxious, and then didn't sleep. Well, then we got in and there was a rocket launch, so we didn't sleep because we had to get up for that. And then we didn't sleep on the ship because it was like, it was just go. There's a lot to do. But yeah, that was the experience up there. The bathrooms are very posh.
We'll save that for the vlog.
The Rose Bar is beautiful.
Yes.
We did go up and look at that, but we didn't have time to get a drink there. But we'll tell you about what our favorite lounge was on board. Yeah. We didn't get to experience a drink at the Rose, but I actually think the other lounge we much preferred.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about wait list, talked about, I also tried to book the cruise ship tour again. They're still working things out. And so they did not have the cruise ship tours ready to go. And apparently it just randomly happened sometime the next day. And we, at that point, randomness wasn't going to enter our radar. Hey, Paul and Stacy, thanks for hopping on.
Yes, thanks for hopping on. Yes, and that's how we boarded as the Wonderfuls.
Yes, they announced us the Wonderful family,
which was really fun. And yeah, Jen, already planning no sleep. That is for sure. You are not going to sleep. You're not going to sleep.
Sorry, I'm trying to get back to where you were. I totally said.
So after all that craziness, we went and ate. We did have time to go get dinner at Marceline's. Mark had time to gawk at the SpaceX ship.
So make sure to know that at the cadence SpaceX is launching stuff.
Yeah,
there will be.
So you get that's one of the boosters.
Yeah, so this is a Falcon 9 rocket booster right here, hooked up to the crane to be offloaded from. I believe this was a shortfall of gravity. No, that's on the West Coast. This was a shortfall of gravitas. Yeah. Sorry, ASOG. Sorry. Yeah, you can see SpaceX ship.
Please interrupt. Please excuse this nerd interruption.
Wait, where's your nerd alert? On Fiero? Come on, I need the nerd alert.
Oh my gosh, Mark was just having the best time with that.
But yeah, make sure you dedicate time to going to the. So that's actually the port side of the ship with the way they back it in.
Okay, that's enough. Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I have a whole stream talking about rocket ships.
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, you can see that. Mark was bummed that there wasn't like a whole like other things out there while we were in the area. I don't know. There was like you just wanted to see all the space things.
Yeah.
So
actually, yes, Amy, you were on the stream. I did miss the Fish Lips camera because we were going. That sucker is right. Yeah, I knew this. It's right equal with SpaceX's dock, and so I went over to look at the rocket ship. I mean, I could have thrown a stone and hit a rocket.
He was nerding out hardcore. That is for sure. All the space thing, like any of us under exactly. This is my life on a regular basis. You should have seen him the day they announced that there was going to be like it wasn't even officially announced. It was one of his like deep troves of the internet nerd groups. He comes running downstairs. I thought he was dying. I thought like, oh my God, like, are you having a heart attack? Like, what's wrong? Like, do we need to call 911? He's like, it's happening. I'm like, what's happening? There's a rocket launch. That's gonna happen. How's anyone over there? Oh my God. I'm like, okay, what? Just calm down. Like, I'm gonna have to like call a doctor. So yes, he was very excited beyond words that we were actually going to have a rocket launch while we were staying at the Space Bar Hotel. There we go. So, yeah.
Nerd alert.
He was.
Thank you guys. Appreciate that.
He was, he was losing his mind. So So there was lots of space geeking out on this trip.
Did you want to talk about the tour of the kids club first, or we'll circle back to that when we talk about
Yeah,
it?
I forgot we did that. Oh my gosh, we did so much. Like seriously, like we
Just
got
get
on
on the
that
ship
ship,
and
we got
boom,
in line, we got
boom,
our reservation,
boom,
we went up and did
boom.
lunch at Marceline, which was we'll talk about the dining. So we went and did lunch at Marceline. Then we went to our room and dropped our stuff.
Yes, because I was tired of hauling stuff
Yeah,
around at
'cause
that point.
Of course, Mark had to bring on 4 full bottles of champagne and wine. So he was hauling that around. I had my backpack with my laptop. So we were ready to go drop our bags. We went and like very briefly looked at our absolutely
wine on
gorgeous
ice.
room. Figured out the fridge situation because that's a whole thing. And then we went down and toured the kids club, which we'll talk in more detail about the kids club. But oh my gosh, amazing. Wally just had the time of his life on this cruise. And I'm so jealous. Those spaces are
Amazing.
incredible.
They are amazing.
Yeah. So the Oceaneers Club, I mean,
You
we
wanted to
we
crawl around
haven't
on your knees. I
experienced-
know you wanted to crawl around on your knees and have me check you in, didn't you?
I know. Yeah. We thought about it. I'm like, can I just
I'm
pretend like
Walter.
I'm 5? I know. But yeah,
You don't
I
look
mean,
like Walter.
and I wish like Wally could have taken you guys around the kids club, but they don't really let you like film in there when there's kids in there, which is good and they shouldn't. But we got lots of film and footage before. Did we prepay tips before we sailed?
not.
We did not.
They charge them to your room after you board.
Yes.
So specifically, had we done that on this sailing, it was prior to Disney increasing the tips, which we think was a good idea on their part.
Yeah,
So
because when we like looked at the gratuities, we were like, this is not enough.
if you're having good service on the ship, know that
Yeah.
the tips that they charge to your room are kind of baseline compensation.
Yeah. We definitely like put in more
Think about what
cash
you spend as a
and-
family going out to eat at a Disney restaurant.
Yeah.
Multiply that by the number of nights that you dine in one of their
Mhm.
restaurants, and then compare that to the tip they print
I
on
mean,
the thing.
every meal we had was easily a $200 dinner. Easily. And, you know, I mean, it's included in your cruise, but if you were just paying for that, like ordering off the menu, it was easily $200, $300 for a meal.
Yep.
And you have 2 servers like helping with everything. And we have a lot of food allergies.
Yep.
And if you tipped 20% on a $200 bill every night, that is not even close to what the gratuities are. So we
No.
definitely put in extra.
It was like $43 for our server, like for the entire voyage, a $43 tip. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
not anywhere near it. So
Yeah.
they do that baseline
So-
gratuity. They charge it to your room. You can
Yeah.
go to guest services and ask
Add it
them
on,
to
yeah.
increase it,
Yeah.
or you can do what we did, which was
We brought
bring
cash.
along other and sundry things. So we brought
And-
along cash because cash is good.
Yeah.
The thing to know about tipping, depending upon what group they're in, they share those tips. And I'm not
Mhm.
opposed to sharing. Everyone needs to be tipped. But when people go above and beyond, I want to be sure that they
You're
get
getting
something.
it. So, and I
So-
don't know with cash,
Cash, I mean, they could pocket it or they could throw it into
you
a
know,
pot. I mean, who knows?
But we just felt like that at least give a little bit more option.
So one thing you can do, pro
So-
tip, is give gift cards. So gift cards obviously can't go into a
yeah,
pot to
and
be
we
shared.
did gift cards too, and we
Yes.
and Wally wrote like handwritten thank you notes to the kids club, and we gave them all like Starbucks gift cards because
Mhm.
there's Starbucks at all the ports.
Well, they go out to the
Um,
Bahama, Nassau, and back. So
mhm.
there's a Starbucks right there at the Nassau.
But a
port.
lot of them get off it. They can use the Wi-Fi, and you know, so we did do some stuff like that too. Because kids club, they can't accept gratuity.
No.
They have to refuse it 3 times before they can take it.
And then they pull it all together and throw a party.
Yeah. So we were like, let's just get like gift cards
Mhm.
and then we can write out thank you notes. And then, you know, at least that's like something they can have. So again, this cruise group we were on Facebook was great because this was only our 2nd cruise.
My thing.
His 3rd. You were on one of the maidens for the
Magic or
Magic
Wonder. I
or
never
Wonder?
remember. One of the two.
so we've only
Mom, if you're still in here, you may remember.
yeah,
that.
so we've only done the fantasy together. And that was 6 years ago. Because that's when we found out we were gonna have
Really?
Wally. So that's the last time we went cruising. And then throwing a pandemic in the middle of it, we really haven't had a chance to go cruising with him. We had one booked and then we got stuck in Hurricane Irma. And so then we had to cancel that one. And then we just never had a chance to book another one because you know.
So Funfero asked this
Um,
before. Dream and the Fantasy, they're mirrors of each other, so they're both Dream
Mhm.
class ships.
Yep.
I mean, we didn't get enough time on the Wish to fully experience it.
I mean, when we did the Fantasy, we were on a 7-night sailing, and that was wonderful. 3 nights is way too short. It just goes so fast, and especially when it's a brand new ship, like there was just a lot to experience. We had a wonderful time. The ship was immaculate, beautiful. Every space was
it
spectacular.
was so new, the carpet was still
Yeah,
off
the
fibering.
carpet was like still
shedding
pilling
fiber.
every night.
Yeah,
like,
pilling, yeah. You come out and look like bunches of dogs had rolled around, and no, it's
Yeah.
actually just because they
all
vacuumed the carpet.
Yeah. So, I mean, we loved the Wish.
I think you'll come to hear as there are things about the Wish we like, and then there's things about other ships that we like. That
Well,
maybe
and
the Wish.
yeah, I mean, like, stay tuned because
Yeah.
we have 2 more cruises booked for the next year. So we'll share more about that in the future, but we'll be going on other ships. So we'll have more of that context to compare, and we kind of want to do those and then go back and do the Wish again. So yeah, there's a lot to experience on the Wish. It's a huge ship, and every space is just beautiful. So yeah, okay. So then we did the kids club, and then we went up and did.
And so why I wanted to say the kids club thing, sorry, is it may have been open for a total open house at some other point. We never made it down there to confirm. So guaranteed kids clubs across the border all open.
Yep, the first
before you leave
day,
port.
Yeah,
the first
before
day.
You leave port, and I think it was open through dinner, and then they switched it over to like actually.
Secure.
Yep,
they secured it.
But then they did have miniature open houses throughout, so like in each space. So we went to one in the Marvel Superhero Academy and got to do like a special like activity show there, and then we went to the one in the Star Wars cargo bay, but we were the only people there. So we actually just ended up talking to the cast member for a really long time and not even like playing the space, and made her cry with some of our stories. And it was just really, really nice to get to like share that time with her.
So make sure you book time in your arrival to go look at the kids club, the Oceaneer club, go look at the teen areas. Cause you'll think about that later on. Like, oh, I want to go look at.
Yeah.
Vibe.
And we did, we like looped through Vibe.
And there's nothing special per se but it's just cool to see them.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the space.
Yeah. So that was fun. And we did a tour. We did a like tour through the spa. Like we did a lot in between the time that we boarded and the sailing away party.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
So and
bring your
we
magic
like,
pen.
and it's $12.
$12.95 deposit that you pay.
You deposit it, and then at the end you can either keep it or you can return it. We decided to keep it because we've got more cruises coming up. So we figured like, well, we'll just keep it, and then you can use it on future cruises, assuming we remember it. But I'll try really hard.
Honey, we gotta find it first.
That is a good point. I don't actually know where it is. We still have a lot of things that are like semi-unpacked.
I mean, every ship's like some of this is a little bit more chaotic getting on the Wish.
Yeah, and I think like, I mean, that's why I want to do it again, because I think it'll feel less chaotic. This was just like, we wanted to see everything. We went up to the spa. We did tour the rainforest space, which is absolutely gorgeous. But it was, how much was they were only selling the like unlimited passes.
$168 for the whole trip.
It was $168 per person for the whole trip. And like, I don't know when we would have gone. That was the problem. Like I would pay that if I was on like a 5 or a 7 night sailing, or even on a 3 night sailing on a ship that I've done before. And I know I'm going to have time to experience it. But had we bought it, I literally do not know when we would have gotten up there.
And by the time, the only day we thought we would have maybe gone was our Nassau day, because we weren't getting off at port. We were experiencing the ship, and they were sold out of that day. So they wouldn't let us on that day. They said, well, if you book the whole 168, you could come on Friday. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to pay $168 per person for
potentially
5
2
hours. I'm being generous. Probably 2 hours in this space.
Yeah. So, but it is beautiful. I would definitely I would definitely do that on a future sailing.
Captain Minnie was immaculate.
Awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
She was really, really fun. And she was walking around. So while I got to see her, as she was like kind of up and walking around in the main like area. So she was
Yep, there you
tooling
go.
around.
So they were still doing
That's
distance
it was still
character
distance.
encounters.
So no hugs, no autographs.
I
Wally
think
was so good about it.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean he totally got the program, you know.
Yeah.
So he got to see Minnie and Pluto while we were waiting in the line at Triton's. Well, Mark was down at guest services, so that was actually great.
And I don't know if you even have the video of it, but it'll be on the vlog. I have a video of Minnie doing the wish ceremony.
Because then she came down to the next deck. I mean, she just was walking the
deck.
Yeah, so that was really nice that he got to do that. Got to see the characters and have that moment right when we got on the show. So, and he's like so into it right now. Like he's just such a fun age, which is why we're going to do some more cruises because it's just so fun with him right now.
Okay, so let's skip to the deck party because I started talking about
I know
that
we haven't gotten to the deck party yet, and we only have like 10 minutes left on the stream. So so then they have the new sailing away party.
Jen, since you're going on it, what do you
so
absolutely
Jen, let us know what your big questions are. We'll talk about the sailing away party, and then we'll try and address any big questions you have. But yeah, the new sailing away party was awesome. Like just, you know, the sailing away party is always amazing.
Well, first thing they did, so we're walking out to the deck,
and they had
DVC
trays of these like
membership magic champagne flutes, which they had some with straws in them.
Like the metal,
sparkling apple juice for non-alcoholic.
Sparkling apple juice in it for Wally, and they had champagne in it for us. So that was like,
cheers, hon.
That was awesome. That was like a huge perk.
Mm-hmm. And did you show your wish side? Yeah.
And that's the thing about the DVC sailing. Like, oh my gosh, they spoiled us.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
We got like, they had a free gift every single day. You could go down to the DVC desk. They were just like, I will say the DVC crew had their act together.
They were on point.
They were on point. They like just everything they did was like so great. Yeah. The cruise staff was still learning, but the DVC staff, man, they knew what they were doing. So, but yeah, the new song is super fun for sailing away. We had the added excitement of a giant thunderstorm coming at us as we were sailing away. So the sky, like behind us, is just black, and you can hear the thunder, and it's just getting closer and closer and closer.
So don't let this blue sky over here fool you.
And we were
behind us.
We were like, I don't know if we're gonna get like if they're gonna pull the characters out. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, and they pulled like when it first started, the characters come up on the screen. I think I have it in this clip. I guess they were out on the deck. But the very first one, they had like just the characters on screen, and I thought, oh, they pulled the characters. They're not going to bring the characters out. That's a bummer because it was looking dark.
Yeah, there you can see Wally's.
And I will say that the amount of pools on the Wish is amazing. Like from what I've studied on deck plans of other ships and from what I remember from the
there are a lot of tiny pools.
But
there are a lot of tiny pools.
But there was a lot. Like there was so many to go to. And so like Wally just had a blast like sitting in the pool and watching the sail away, and he was like in this pool and in that pool and like
a lot of tiny pools. And they're all not shallow. Like some of them are maybe like a foot deep, and then the ones up above were like 4 feet.
This was the
drop into 4 feet.
One he was sitting in, and then he got in trouble
because he's sipping his drink in the pool.
His drink.
Here comes a lifeguard. Out of here, kid.
You can't have the drink.
No drinking in the pool.
But he got to enjoy that pool drink life for just a minute. So that's all that really matters.
Kid after my own heart is what that was.
Right.
I don't fault him at all.
Living the good life.
That is the dream right there. That is the dream.
But yeah, the sailing away party was just awesome. And we got the whole thing. And they brought out all the princesses, like everybody, like Merida, like Tiana.
So because Jen's going on, I want to hit our talking points, and then we'll talk about it again when we get to the lounges and stuff in our next session.
Yeah.
So post our question up there if you would. The one thing not to miss, which Jen, it's the whole entire ship. Come on,
I know.
It's the whole.
That's a really hard question.
Do not miss going on the kids club tour.
Yeah, definitely.
Do not miss going on the kids club tour, and then
go to the kids club tour.
Do not miss watch the navigator, watch the app for the other open houses of the areas,
and go
because
experience them.
And you won't get this from WDWNT because I know they didn't get the video because they weren't there.
Oh,
I was the only one filming in that room.
we did see Tom on the cruise.
We did see Tom Corliss, very nice guy. We've met him again on the cruise. But
the Marvel one was super fun.
The Marvel Game Master Chess Cruise. I don't know what his title. I actually took a picture of it.
I can't remember what it was. Something Master.
Something Master. Like
I don't know.
Puzzle Master.
No, it wasn't Puzzle Master.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Something like that. But that was really fun. So go do the special kids clubs events that they had that highlighted the different spaces.
At least in ours. And again, there weren't that many kids on the ship, but it was only adults. There was one little girl and maybe one little guy, but the rest of us were adults coming to experience this kids
really
club
fun.
thing.
Taskmaster.
It
was the Taskmaster. So that was really fun. And then, oh gosh, I don't know. My favorite lounge was Nightingale's.
Don't miss Nightingale's. It's right there off. Super simple. Yeah. You drop your kids down the slide. By the way, it's a slide to get to the kids club. Super awesome. They love the heck out of it. Mm-hmm. Drop your kids down the slide, and right next door is Nightingale's Lounge. They have live music there. We actually never experienced any live music there.
That was really fun. And then also, I think this was kind of surprised me because I was really skeptical of it when they announced this. I was like, what? That is so lame. But it was super fun. What was it called? The Incredigames?
The Incredigames, yeah.
This was super fun.
All right, so right now they just have the Incredicoaster.
So basically the Wish, they took their sports court and instead of putting it out on the top deck where balls are going to go overboard and bounce on the roof of Apollo, it's inside. Wear socks. Bring socks.
That's good to know if you're coming on a cruise.
Bring socks because, I wouldn't think of that. And you're on a,
ship,
Bahamian cruise. You
bring
really
socks.
Need socks for the beach. So
you need socks.
So make sure you have socks because the kids cannot go in it unless they have socks. And adults you can go in it too. Mark definitely did it with Mark. So make sure you have socks. Because it was super fun. I really, again, I was like, this is the lamest thing. We're just gonna put an inflatable on the ship, but it was so fun.
Super cool.
We didn't do the family challenge because you have to be a team of 4, and being a family of 3, we were like, okay, I don't know how that's gonna work. We're gonna have to find one random person, and we just weren't we wanted Wally at this age to just have fun with it and get to experience it and not have the pressure of it being a competitive thing.
There's the name. It's called the Challenge of the Taskmaster.
In the Marvel.
And you can see it was at 10:15 at night.
Mm-hmm. That was really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. And you can go. So there's 2 times that the Incredigames is running. One is open house style, and it's just and that you'll see it itinerary for 5 hours. That's just you can go and just play and enjoy it. And they also have foosball tables and ping pong tables and all kinds of stuff. Well, yeah, I was actually, I don't know. I guess you could have bought them in the gift shop.
They might. I didn't even look to see if they had socks.
But they should just have they should sell incredible socks.
They should.
Here.
Come on, Disney, make some money.
I mean, really. But that was super, super fun. Got to do the Aqua Mouse for sure. We kind of think the Aqua Duck.
I like the Aqua Duck better because you're 2 times out on the edge of the ship versus the mouse.
It's very short.
It's very short.
It's
once
very
you get past
short
the lift
because
hill,
it's all the lift hill and it's just screens. I mean, it was cool. Really enjoyed. Wally loved it. But I think the Aqua Mouse or the Aqua Duck is better.
So the thing not to do, and Jen, since you're going on it, I'll give you this. I mean, try to get in line if you want to waste your time on that. Here's the deal. We went to Hyperspace Lounge. We had a 5:15 appointment reservation. Yeah. Because at 6 o'clock was the show.
6 o'clock was
the show. So we're going to be going to the show, and the show's right down the hall.
And we had late dining.
Dinner. Yep. So you're either going to dinner or the show.
Right.
That place, by the time
we were the only people in there.
We were the only people there.
We got seated, and there was 3 empty seats next to us. And Mark asked, "Is somebody going to be sitting there?" And I was like, why is he asking that? Like, I don't care if people sit by us. And then he was like, no, nobody's coming. So if you have some friends, just tell them to come down. So that was open. And then we like ordered our drinks. By the time our drinks came,
5:35, 5:40,
we were the only people in there.
everyone left.
The only people in there.
Yeah. So I'm convinced you could go down at 5:40 if you just want to. And again,
and you just want to like check it out. And here's the other thing you can do, because this is what we did. We got our drinks, we got all of our
Took the
pretty
pictures.
Instagram photos and experienced them in their full barware. And then we asked for to-go cups, and they poured them into the glass cups that you can take in the theater.
Yep.
So we took our Hyperspace drinks, which were there
Drinks
you go,
are
because
okay.
they're better. Took them into the theater and enjoyed them with the show. So go in at 5:40, order some drinks, take your pictures, take in the ambiance, because it's very loud in there, very
super loud.
very
It was
loud.
not enjoyable to sit in that loud ambiance.
There's just a lot of like and then the like hyperspace wall like every
So
3
loud.
minutes changes, and so it's very
It's
loud.
It's 7 minutes, but it's super
Yeah.
loud.
It was not like the most relaxing lounge, I would say. So yeah, just go in there at 5:40.
Yeah, if you don't get a reservation, don't worry about it. Don't cry about it.
Yep.
Go in at 5:35, 5:40.
Order your
say,
drinks, take them to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get your pictures, look around, and you know what? You will feel like you got the experience. I'm not kidding. I hate to bemoan something that
I know. I mean, really, we were in there 20 minutes, and then we walked out, and the line for the show was so long. We're like,
let's walk back in.
Let's go back in. So I like went back in and hung out for another 10 minutes, and then walked right
Let the
into
line
the theater.
dissipate.
And I don't know if this was because of the sailing that we were on, and most of the people were back to back and had already seen the shows, and the ship wasn't full. But we never had a problem showing up at the shows like
10 minutes to showtime.
not even 10 minutes, like 2
Yeah,
minutes
you guys
to
know us
showtime.
well.
Yeah, we're never early to anything. And we had great like center, same row as where they film from every single show. So I don't know if that's always going to be the case, but it was lucky for us, I guess.
Yeah. So I've got the pictures up on Nightingale, and then Irene, you can do this.
See, you're gonna have to watch the replay, Paul.
You have to watch the replay.
Yeah. So I would say that, and then Nightingales. So here's the special thing about Nightingales. When we went,
they do the same kind of fun with the
they
drinks.
have smoke drinks.
Their drinks are on point. They have smoke drinks, smoke bubbles, ice bubbles, and they are so good. They are on point.
Definitely the best drinks we had on board, and they have really good gins. Like So
Look at that. Yeah, but
I ordered the Nightingale
because that's the specialty drink of Nightingale,
which is very good. It is sweet. It's more of a kind of a tropical drink.
Tropical gin drink, which was fine.
Which was fine. But there is one
bird left.
One Nightingale bird glass on the boat. The rest broke in shipment, so they never actually even made it, or they were broken on the maiden voyage. And they are trying to get more, but as of our sailing, they did not have any more. So I got the one and only Nightingale glass. So
know that if you walk in,
if you want to order this drink, ask if you'll be able to get it in the Nightingale sipper. If not, maybe wait for whoever has that time to finish and bring it up. But yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if they're going to change the design of it. But she said a lot of them crashed and burned, and a lot of them didn't even make it. So
and some of them were 5-finger discounted by the voyage people.
So I was lucky to get it, and I ordered. Like I was like, I don't know, like is it going to be too sweet? And Mark's like, you should just order the drink, and I'm like,
because I walked in and I saw the glass was sitting behind the bar. And I'm like,
he's like, just order it, and I'm like, well, I don't know, but maybe I want to try this one. And he's like, you should just order the Nightingale drink, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll order the Nightingale drink. And then the lady that ordered it after me.
Got it in a glass like mine.
In a regular glass.
Yep.
So yes, if you're there and you want the Nightingale bird glass, ask if they have it. But Nightingale's was hands down our favorite lounge on the ship. Paul says he wouldn't want to have to sip out of its behind anyway. The anatomy of the glass is unique. Paul.
Yes,
that is for sure.
Yes, you are. Show it here. I'll go back to that picture and you can visualize sipping out of the birds. I'll zoom in for you, Paul. Friends our friends at Hitchhiking Bones are getting ready to go live.
live.
They're
Yep.
not quite live
yet, but
here we go.
but we have a lot more to talk about. We want to talk to you guys about the staterooms, more about the lounges, because we did make it into every one of the lounges. We stuck our head into all
if
of them.
even Kagan Compass, it was head going in,
Cake and Compass didn't require a whole lot of
head
time.
coming out. I mean, it's a beer bar. If you love beer, go there. They have
Mark,
a booth.
So bird butt stream forever. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we want to talk to you about dining too. I know, Liz, like you wanted to know about allergy dining on board. Definitely have a lot to say about that. We had a great experience, but I don't know. I felt like I ate much better on the Fantasy.
Yes. Agreed.
Which also could be post-COVID changes. But you know, and then the shows were amazing. So we want to talk to you guys about that. And then Wally wants to share with you guys about the kids club and everything about that. And then we did do some like different family activities and stuff. So I think we'll just have to keep this rolling week by week. But like I said, our plan is to start doing Travel Tuesdays every Tuesday at 7:00 Mountain, 9:00 Eastern. I know we have some Pacific Coast watchers as well, so 6:00. So, and we've got some Midwest watchers too.
Yes.
So Central Time Zone.
9876. Anyone from Hawaii?
So
yeah, Eileen, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on. So yeah, and Jen, if you have any other questions or anything, like just feel free to message me. You guys are gonna have an amazing time. I will send you all of the positive vibes for negative COVID tests and just enjoy it and soak it up. And yeah, just love every minute of it because it goes super fast. So we definitely are like wanting to get back on the Wish.
Yeah.
Like we're already we're looking. So that's hopefully going to be happening in the near future, but it was an amazing experience and we'll have lots more to share with you guys. So if you guys are around, you should hop over to Hitchhiking Bones stream. I think they're doing Christmas in July tonight. So that's super fun. We adore those guys so much. So go check them out because they're lots of fun and they always bring all the Disney joy. So, and then stay tuned next week. We'll be back live talking more about the Wish. Yes, Aileen, I know you just want to go on a cruise in general. To address the question you had asked about whether or not drinks are extra, alcohol is extra. The only way to get free alcohol is if you do concierge, but it's only in the like concierge lounge. So if you want to order a drink with dinner or you want to go to the lounges, you're still going to be paying for your drinks. But you can bring up to two bottles per person.
Or six cans of beer.
6 cans of beer. So you can do that. And definitely like that's
that helps
welcome to do. So and that can help.
The drinks are not pricier than usual. I mean,
they're Disney drink prices.
Disney drink prices. Yeah. So those two that we had were $17 each.
Yeah.
I can go back to that picture and you can get
it's pretty standard.
Yours was 20.
Mine was more of just because it was like
it was a premium alcohol and a signature drink.
Where are you trying to go?
I don't know, Nightingales.
Oh, you went way past Nightingales.
Oh boy.
You were on Nightingale.
I was.
Yeah. You're right here.
Okay.
Did you take a picture of the drink menu?
No, it's on my phone it is, but go to like one of us that looks nice and we can show you.
One of us that looks nice. Yeah. So standard drink prices. Mark's was like 17 and mine was like 21 or something.
Yeah.
So you still have to pay for them. But you can bring on some bottles and that definitely helps offset it a little bit. So yeah, lots more to talk about. Hopefully you guys will come join us again next Tuesday and hopefully the Travel Talk Tuesdays will be a fun thing to share with you guys. So I think we covered a lot. I think we covered all the big questions that we had, but we still have a lot more we want to share. So
hey Elena, thanks for hopping in.
And
now we got to say Hawaiian time, and I'm not even gonna try to get that.
No,
you can probably translate it much better than we would.
Thanks for listening and hanging out with us tonight. So it was an incredible experience and
stay tuned for more
Disney cruises in general. Like we're hooked.
Yep.
Wally told me, he said, now that I've been on the sea, I cannot be stuck at home. So he has the Disney cruise bug, and we're running with
profound advice from a 5-year-old.
So, all right. Well, hop on over to the Bone Stream, check them out. And thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. This is the wonderful Walter, who is being very quiet and entertaining himself. So hopefully everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys just the way you are.
Bye.
Bye.